Greetings, fellow citizens of Disneyland. Brickey here. Today's adventure, let's explore the details of the reopening of Buena Vista Street in Disney California Adventure, as it temporarily becomes an annexed edition of Downtown Disney. Starting Thursday, November 19th, citizens of Disneyland can finally step back inside a Disney park in California after 250 days of all of us being locked out due to the state of California forced COVID-19 public health and safety closures. We're back in. We are back in. And although it will be free to get into Buena Vista Street, as I predicted in one of the earlier videos, Disney will use a mobile wait list when the queue for Buena Vista Street has reached its max capacity. There'll be a virtual queue option on your Disneyland app on your smartphone, which will allow you to schedule your time to get into Buena Vista Street. And I would also assume there will be a separate mobile wait list for the shops and restaurants inside of the Buena Vista district. And the reason for this is a huge percentage of guests will want to be inside of Buena Vista district. But due to social distancing guidelines, Disney can't let all of their guests be in one section of the park. As we know, Downtown Disney has a limited capacity, and that's assuming that all of those people are spread all throughout the district. And if all the citizens were to gather in one spot, that would be too many in one area, which would start to break the COVID-19 California restrictions. And in my opinion, in many ways, Buena Vista Street reopening is an audition to see more of the park reopen while we're stuck in the pandemic. So let's all be happy with what we get and be on our best behavior. And as I predicted earlier, I'm guessing that even though it will be free to go into Buena Vista Street, Disneyland will still probably use the park's gates to keep a limited amount of people inside. That will help them keep up to the amount of people that they're allowed to have in that district, which means this is going to be the hottest ticket in Downtown Disney. And I have a couple of strategies to share with you on how to make that happen on your next visit. Step 1, you probably should secure a dining reservation somewhere in the park. Even if you can't get into Buena Vista Street, you should just grab a dining reservation somewhere in Downtown Disney. That will allow you, when you're waiting in line, if the lines get long, to say, I have a dining reservation. That will give you a preferential treatment to get into the park a little bit faster than everyone else. Then once you're in the park and you're geotagged, you can join the queue to go into the Buena Vista Street district. Now, the ultimate way to do this would, before you leave the house, is try to secure a dining reservation inside of Buena Vista Street. I don't know if they'll be letting those out, if that will be something you have to be geotagged to get. I'm going on opening day. Stand by. I'll let you know the best way to get inside. But right now, I'm referring to this as Beta Buena Vista Street, because this sounds like a huge test run to open some shops, some eateries for the holidays, gauge customer satisfaction, measure their return on investment, and bring some workers back into the workforce. And ultimately, I think to prove to the California state how they can bring everybody back in a safe manner. And I really think that this is a no-brainer. I think guests are going to love it. I think they will see huge financial wins. I mean, in relationship to how many people and how many stores and shops they have open. And I think the cast members being amazing and doing their part, well, that's just a given. We don't ever have to guess those folks. But, and this is a big mouse-shaped but, COVID numbers are going up. I have been predicting on the channel for months now, and this isn't like a great prediction. It's just what everybody's been saying. These months that we're in now will be the most dangerous months of COVID-19. The numbers are growing nationally at an alarming rate. So I would say to you, if this is something that you want to do, don't wait. Don't drag your heels, because in California, we've seen many things that are given to us slowly get pulled back, like haircuts for a couple of months. So the guidelines for shopping and dining could be reconstructed by the state of California, which then would put on different restrictions with Disneyland, and some of this could be paused or capacity could be reduced. My advice would be go early, go often. Don't wait till your February birthday or your December 23rd trip and then complain that it wasn't there when you needed it. I would suggest this is something you want to hit sometime in the month of November. So what is there to do once we get in Buena Vista Street? Well, me personally, I'm just looking forward to sitting on a couch soaking in the vibes and just being inside of a park. But there will be a lot of different activities for us to take part in, all related around eating and dining. No character meet and greets, no attractions open, but I think that we'll be happy with what we get. Elias & Co. will be open, which is sort of Disney's nod to the old school Los Angeles department store. This store has so many different departments inside of it. A youth section, a toy section, a really, really nice curated section for both women and men. I find the men's section to probably be the best curation of men's products in the entire resort. I'm a very, very picky shopper, especially when it comes to my clothing, and the few items that have passed my test inside the gates were bought here in the men's department. Julius Katz & Sons will be opening, where they've got pens, collectible, home decor, Christmas ornaments. So if you're looking to get your annual Disneyland Christmas ornament, this is going to be the spot to do it inside of the gates of the park. Kingswell Camera Shop offers great gift giving ideas like frames, photo albums, and more. I mean, quite honestly, I always thought this was a part of the other store. So you know how Disneyland is so good at like cutting every little space up into, this is one store? No, this is 3 stores. And food for thought, with having Buena Vista Street open, will we now get a new entrance into the Disneyland Backlot Premier shop? Although they may want to keep it separate, because if you put up more capacity in Buena Vista Street, then it's going to make it harder for people to get into this shop. And right now it's super easy to get into the Backlot shop. I really, really like this addition. This was a fun thing to add on. It's a lot of square footage, gave a home for some of the Wonderground stuff that's currently homeless due to the Star Wars pop-up shop that came into downtown Disney. So I'm going to vote that they keep these separated, just to keep people evenly distributed and make it easy to get into everything. But it's always a potential that we could be wandering in from the front, which then would kind of ruin that it's the backlot. And as far as dining goes, so many more park official snacks will now be available. Trolley Treats offers classic candies, old-fashioned confections, and all kinds of freshly made Disneyland treats. It also gives you that great view in the window of Rock Candy Mountain, which is a whole crazy story. And I also believe that this would include Clarabelle's, which is right inside. See, once again, is it 2 shops or 1? But some ice cream and a pair of Mickey shorts. And Fiddler, Pfeiffer, and Practical Cafe will be reopening. Disney announced that artisan sandwiches will be returning, as well as holiday classics such as hot chocolate, cranberry orange scones, and give me that Starbucks menu. Just want to sit on a bench with my favorite Trenta cold brew, extra ice, light splash of whole milk. And the big one is Karthe Circle reopening. Savor the new seasonal menu of Mediterranean California light fare with flavorful dishes that can be shared or enjoyed separately. So they're going to have a new small plates menu and an expanded alfresco dining, which means eating outdoors. I had to Google that. I didn't know what, everyone's like alfresco dining, like we all know what that is. That's a fancy way of saying eating outdoors. Karthe Circle will feature a huge menu of seasonal offerings, and it's downsized both in the size of the amount of food that you get, but also the price that you will pay. This is no longer the more premium, long-paced dining format. It's smaller dishes, shareable dishes at an affordable rate to kind of keep the turnover going at a faster pace. Historically, one could go into Karthe Circle to celebrate an anniversary or a birthday and spend hours at the pace that restaurant ran. Now there's a higher volume, less room to get everybody in, so a smaller, cheaper menu keeps the turnover going at a faster pace. But the menu looks delicious. You can see it over on the Disneyland website, and they will have plenty of their signature cocktails returning for those of you that love the alcoholic beverages. And a big shock, Award Wieners is returning, but not with their traditional menu. They will be serving popular items from the Corn Dog Castle, which we know is located way, way deep in the Paradise Gardens. So they'll be serving the original corn dog, the hot link corn dog, and a cheddar cheese stick, as well as apple pie, funnel cake. So why is Award Wieners not serving their traditional menu items and has Corn Dog Castle items in there? It's all about speed. right? The various artisan hot dogs that they used to serve. You got to make the hot dog. You got to put the toppings on it. It just takes time. These items are easy. You put it in a fryer. When it floats, it's done. This will create a much fast to service more customers and to keep everybody moving along, getting rid of long lines where people stand congested. Everything right now is to keep people happy, but keep them moving fast and quickly to keep them spread out. They will also have some alcoholic beverages here, as well as hot cocoa for those cold California Christmas evenings. This menu switch up shows us how Buena Vista Street right now is a big experiment, and hopefully it'll pass for bigger and better things to come. On the western side of the park, the furthest perimeter will be Smokejumpers Grill, which is actually part of Grizzly Flats and not Buena Vista Street. We won't tell California. Another streamlined menu, Smokejumpers will give you a menu of burgers, bacon cheeseburgers, chicken tenders, their onion rings, and their famous waffle fries. Craft beer for some, milkshakes for me. Once again, designed as a fast turnover, and Smokejumpers is a really great addition because it already has naturally so much outdoor seating. And it wouldn't be Buena Vista Street or Disneyland without streetcar vendors, so know that you can walk around, grab a churro, get some popcorn, ice cream, and other treats. And if you see Willie's Churros, make sure to look at the license plate. There's a little bit of Disneyland hidden history in that little nod to the original Willie, Steamboat Willie. But one of the things I'm most excited about is the holiday theming that will be returning. The red car trolley will be available as a photo op. It will remain parked at its Buena Vista train station. It will not be running the line. No one will get to ride it, but it's so exciting to see it back on the street. And I'm fully anticipating and expecting and have my heart set on holiday decorations. I hope that there's Disneyland Christmas music playing, but the big question is, does 2020 allow for a giant Christmas tree to stand? Does a giant Christmas tree in these times create a public health crisis? If everybody wants to crowd around the Christmas tree, is that us breaking the rules of social distancing? I'll be interested to see if that big tree is there, and if it is, I full on expect a little bit of Disney magic to leak from my eyes. We'll see if it's there. I am beyond curious if they'll put the big Christmas tree in, just because of how it's always gathered folks in the past. But hey, right next to the Christmas tree, you can get your photo op with a young Walt and Mickey, pie-eyed Mickey. So that area will be an interesting spot for people looking to get that photo, just to share with everybody, hey, I'm back in this place that I love so much. A little bit of normalcy. But currently right now, it's only the Buena Vista Street district that's reopening. You get a little bit of Hollywoodland, a little bit of Grizzly Peak Airfield, but the rest of Disney's California Adventure will remain closed. No attractions, no character meet and greets, just some shops, just some stores, but all the vibes you can catch. And this is the second big expansion. The new Backlot Premier shop opened up in October as Disney reshapes what we know as Downtown Disney in these really different times, where Downtown Disney has really shined and become the hero that nobody knew would save the day. I was there a couple of weeks ago where I did a live stream. Afterwards, I just sat on a bench for a solid hour and I soaked it up. And I know I wasn't in Disneyland and I know it wasn't California Adventure, but don't tell my heart that, because it felt full and content just sitting there and soaking up the Disney vibes. Now, in another development with the opening of Buena Vista Street, the Symbol Lot, which had been free this entire time, will now cost $10 to park your vehicle. And this does two things for Disneyland. Creates a little bit of revenue. Hundreds of cars coming in a day, paying $10, helps pay the rent. But also, $10 is just enough of a deterrent for people maybe not to come. Buena Vista Street is going to spike up the demand for downtown Disney, but as we all know, their supply is quite limited due to crowd restrictions during COVID-19. So the $10 is one of those famous Disney play-in chicken. If you're willing to pay it, we'll let you in. If you don't want to pay it, we don't really need you. It's the old business win-win. And as a pro parking tip for you, the western side of the park is obviously where most people go, because that's where the Symbol Lot is. Waiting to get into the parking lot, waiting to get through the different checkpoints, and waiting for capacity to open up, sometimes on the western side can take a lot of time. There used to be a little bit of a shortcut where you could pay to park over on the harbor side or the eastern side of the resort. This area typically has a much shorter wait time, a much faster security checkpoint, making it a breeze to go in. but it used to have a deterrent of that you had to pay to park on the harbor side of the resort. Well, now that it's $10 to park at the Symbol Lot, it makes parking over at the Anaheim Hotel a pretty good deal. And if you go over to Mice Chat's website, I have nothing to do with this. This is not my promo, just passing good intel over to you. They have a coupon that you can download or put on your smartphone where you'll be paying the exact same rate that you would pay to go over on a much busier side of the park. And this will also get you absolutely closer to Buena Vista Street and the Backlot shop. But if you're a fellow EV driver, you're going to want to park over on the Simba side if you need to charge your vehicle, because they have a lot of charging stations. They use ChargePoint. They're not particularly fast, but they're also not very expensive on recharging your electric vehicle. Stay out of stall 13. That's my lucky charging spot. 13. So the Simba Lot is great if you need to charge your car, while Disney recharges your heart. So there you go, friends. That's all the details we have of today on getting into Buena Vista Street starting next Thursday, November 19th. Expect a lot of people to want to get in there, so make sure that you plan accordingly, and most importantly, pack your patience. There's going to be a lot of us that want to get in there, especially if it's decked out for the holidays. These are the vibes that we're missing so much, and everybody else is missing it just as much as you and I. So make sure to plan ahead with dining reservations to get in there, plan out your parking strategy, and most importantly, pick a proper time to go. The weekends are going to require a lot of patience. Weekdays and early will probably be best for you. Hopefully I'll see you in there on opening day, and if I make it into Buena Vista Street, I'll be doing a live stream to take all of you along with me. So thank you so much for watching today's video. Comment below, what are you looking forward to on getting into Buena Vista Street, and what else would you love for them to open up? I know, Main Street, me too. Please give this video a big thumbs up so other people can find my content and help me grow the channel. And while you're there, why not subscribe so you can always get some new Disneyland news from me. Took a week off. Last week was a little bit crazy. I'm back, baby. I'm back. I just couldn't manage doing much else other than watching the news last week. So friends, until the next time I see you on Buena Vista Street, I'll see you back here on the channel with more Disneyland news. Thank you for watching. Christmas in the park, it's gonna happen.